Good morning, Harrison Farm. Saturdays. No Sammy today, so I'm going to show a little bit more of the actual butchering. YouTube won't let me show the kills, so it doesn't matter. We're going to show how we chop them in half here. We just skin them and chop them in half. It'll be on high speed, so those of you really won't see it if you don't want to see it. And I'll show a quick cutting once we get everything eviscerated and all the guts out and all that. Show how the lines go and all that. And just cut them from basically front half, back half. Stick them in a couple of freezer bags and call it good. So, with that being said, I'm gonna finish setting up, and Cynthia's eating breakfast, so we will get started here shortly. All right, welcome to the Harrison Farm. Last one of number 18. We've already cut the legs off. Pretty much, legs are pretty simple. You just bend that sucker, poke it until you feel this separation of the bone, cut through. That's the easiest part. Next, you pinch up this part right here on the top part of the skin. Stick your blade in there. So you get your little hole. Once you got that little hole, you pretty much just rip it apart. Skin comes right off the top. Open it up. Next thing you're going to have to do is come in here and see this line.
The fat line.
That's the fat line. It's on both sides. Just pinch that fat line up, stick it the same way you in through the skin. Don't stick it in too far because you're going to cut guts. You don't want to cut guts. Guts make it bad. Just a little bit, then you can pop the top like a car hood. At point 4, you pull it down a little bit. Now I like to take the skin down here at the bottom where the backbone is. Cut this open a little bit, right close to the butt. Once you get that, then the guts will pretty much just kind of show themselves, and then you can just scoop everything out. Stick your hand back in there as far as possible. You'll feel it. There's a hole in the top where the neck is. And then you just keep reaching down in until you can scoop it out. Now usually it's a lot easier to have somebody come in here and help you with the esophagus and cut it, but it's not impossible. Get it out of the way so it's not connected anymore. Then everything comes out and hangs. Now, of course, this is the gross part if you don't like that kind of stuff. But then you take your thumb, follow the back line where the butt is, you follow it down to the spine, then you can stick it right in. If you can't stick it right in, it's because you ain't in the right spot. If it didn't go through just like that, you're trying to chop bone. You're in the wrong spot. Now that you're at the edge of the bone and you can feel it right here, you can come right up where you came in this way and came out. You can just go in and follow the U. See that bone right there? It just scoops right along the side. Then if you hold all the stuff, it doesn't flop on your foot or anything crazy. You'll just be able to cut right around and through until poof, you drop your bird. Now since it's a bunch of dead guts and all that other stuff anyway, shouldn't hurt your bird too much. We'll rinse it off real fast. Make sure nothing crazy or slimy got on it.
Giving the bird a bath real quick.
Now this is messy. Don't think it's not. You're cutting the insides of critters. No matter what critter you're cutting, you got a mess. Still cut the line. Get some of this stuff out of the way so it makes it easier to motivate yourself around the bird and cut it. Now there's probably several different ways. Pull and cut and chop and all that stuff, but it doesn't really matter. Excuse me. What matters is that you get it all off. And again, the skin is not really that tough. You should be able to pull it right off. And if it doesn't pull right off, then just carefully go around where the stuff is you want to cut. Remember, path of the blade, guys. You can't cut yourself unless you get in the path. If you're not in the path, there's no cutting you. That's the key. No matter
And then
what
stuff like this don't happen.
That's right. So as long as you stay out of the path, and it's real simple. If you get in here and you start chopping like this, you think, oh, wait a minute, path of the blade, it's going to cut me. Move your hand. Come around to a different side. So you're not in the path of the blade.
Don't be like me.
Again, skin comes right off. And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, why do you get rid of the skin? Well, I don't have a $400 plucker, that's why. It's much easier to do it this way. Okay, next, once I got most of that stuff out of the way, I like to go ahead and cut a V just like you did around the butt, around the neck. This stuff will all pull out. Now the trick here is not to cut this little chunk of sack thing that's where he's got all his food. You do that and you're going to have an ugly mess that stinks. So it's much easier to reach in here and just pull this stuff away. And then you're not cutting anything. Pull out what you can, and whatever doesn't come out, that's what you're going to be cutting. Now if you grab a hold of that neck, you'll be able to feel where it bends, just like that. Then you're going to stick that knife in there. Remember, cutting away from yourself. Just go at a V straight down, just like you did on the butt. If you want to, you can come in and there, right there, went right through. Right through. So now you can just cut V right across. Once you got one V on one side, you stay with that cut. Remember the path of the blade thing? I got my finger in here real close so I know I'm in the path of the blade. I'm going to move my hand out of the way, pull that neck a little bit, and just follow it around. Just like I did the butt. And poof. Comes right off.
There's the chicken neck and head and all.
Now, I know we're throwing a lot of stuff away here, but that's just the way we do it out here. I'm sure we get a little bit better at it. Like I say, we got a little bit more ideas of what we're going to do with all this stuff. I already know what you can do with it, so comments and all that stuff won't help me. I just don't have time to mess with it. I suppose I should. Now, getting the skin off the back, sometimes it's a little tough, but you can cut it just like you did the front. Find that spine, which is right there where you just cut the neck. Peel that skin up a little bit. Sometimes it'll come right off. We've had a few chickens where they just don't want to peel off. Now that one peels right off. Super easy.
Wow.
That's the easiest one we've had all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
The rest of
It
them be
wants
giving
to
us
come off.
problems.
it just can't wait. All right, well that usually doesn't happen very often, so
Cool.
when it does, be
Run
happy.
with it.
Be happy. That's it. Again, now some people are also going to gripe at me for not taking the whole wing, but basically what I do is I get down here to the other part of the wing, and if it don't feel fat enough, I don't keep it.
Chop it right off.
It'll come off. Much like the leg, the wing is the same thing. You find that joint where it bends, like that, and then you just come up under it. Again, path of the blade. I'm not whacking, I'm just feeling for that bone where it twists. So I get close. I'm not in any hurry to go through it. I'm more interested in finding that. Then I can just set it down, go right through it. Simple and easy. If you're chopping bone, you're chopping in the wrong spot.
And a sharp knife does help.
That's right. Sharper the better. Many times you hear it on all the other homestead people. They say sharp knife's a humane knife.
Yep.
Of course, once it's dead as this, it's not feeling anything anymore, but still, so not only
And-
faster, it'll help you get your bird processed faster with less meat
Sacrifice.
meat loss. Yeah. So you're not really sawing. I'm not sawing this bird. I'm cutting it. If I wanted to get a saw, I can go get one.
Yep.
Again,
We're not cutting through pig bone.
yeah, I'm looking for where the bend is. Peel it back. I can find it. Sometimes you can break it and it'll pop through, and that'll be the easier word. Then you just come right through it. Again, path of the blade. Think about it. You don't have to cut in a hurry, because when you do, you usually end up cutting yourself.
When you cut in a hurry, stuff like that happens. You don't want that.
He's proud.
Damn right. I'm extremely proud of that.
He demonstrated how to
Not.
put your hand in the path of the blade,
Yeah,
which is exactly what you're not supposed to do.
exactly.
You'll end up with one of those nasty little things that he's got on his thumb. All right, next. Of course,
Look
we're
how
going to trim
beautiful that bird is.
we're going to trim the leg stuff hanging off of it. What are those, tassels?
Yeah. The leg hairs.
The leg tassels. Okay, so again, you can see the line follows right through. That's the rib cage. Now, this is the only time you're actually cutting bone, is when you have to go through the rib cage. The rib cage is pretty light and easy, so if you got a fairly solid and very sharp knife, you won't have any problem cutting through it. Now, once you've got it almost cut, you fold it open. You fold it open because you hear that cracking. Right here, there's
Hold on.
two bones. Right here where I'm pinching my thumb and my finger is where the bone wiggles, just like every joint. There's a joint in every connection. So you find that, and you ain't got to cut a bone at all. It'll just go right. Remember, path of the blade. It'll go right through it, just like that.
Like butter.
Well, like easy chicken flesh. See? Didn't even touch the bone. Boom, right through. And there you have the front half and the back half. I cut it this way because anybody can cut wings and legs and thighs off a chicken, and if you can't, you should learn. And that's the way that works. Some of our birds are dressed out over 6.5 pounds, and that's pretty dang good for a chicken, I think. So we didn't do too bad. Now, granted, we didn't do the 58 days like some people do. I think these are at 76 days actually, so they got fed a little bit more, but in the end, I don't think I had a bird that was less than 5 pounds dressed out. And that is a big chicken even for hens. So, you know, this one might be one of the smallest, and I'm sure it's pushing 4.5. So, but it's the last one, and we're done.
Woohoo.
So this is Harrison Farm with my helper Cynthia and Floyd, the camera guy, the finger chopper. So that's why he's running the camera.
Like and subscribe, everybody.
That's right. Well, eventually you can like and subscribe, but this is going on my personal channel, and we hope to have a Harrison Farm channel soon. So right now everybody gets to see it on Facebook if you want to. The link will be on YouTube. You don't want to watch people getting chopped up? Don't watch it. People. Did I say people? I
You
meant
said
chickens.
people.
Okay, just chickens, not people. Sorry, guys.
We're done with the people chopping for now.
All right, guys. You have a great day.